This next tutorial is involving the extraction of a unit, as in when a unit has entered a trigger. So typically you may need to extract a unit or steal a vehicle. Either of these principles will work well for this trigger. In this instance, all you need to do is you need to just have a named unit. So we're going to give this one as Runaway, which will be the player I'll be playing in the example. All we need to do is we need to set a triggered area. We'll just bump that down in size. And what we can do is we can either have a condition of anybody present, and we will have the condition of Runaway in this list. So when the object named Runaway is present in the list, the trigger will fire. And when the unit enters the trigger, it fires, surprisingly enough. There are alternative ways of doing this. There is the inTrigger function, which can check a group of units, as we see for example there. Likewise, I think if we were to put down another Runaway 2, Runaway in this list and Runaway 2 in this list. There may be a neater way of doing that. You could probably count the array. In fact there is. So count. X is equal to Runaway, or X equal Runaway 2, and that needs to be curly brackets. So in theory that's basically saying, so that needs to be in the middle there. Man, this is probably right. So it's saying where X is basically any member of this list, it iterates through the list and says if that's equal to Runaway or it is equal to Runaway 2, then the trigger will fire if both of those are present. 50-50 on that will work. Let's give it a try. It should do. There we go, it worked. Let's try once more. Well, would you look at that, I managed to muddle my way through it. So anyway, that just goes to show there's a lot of different ways in which you can achieve or what you need to do. For instance, we could have just done the alternative, slightly uglier way, which is Runaway in this list and Runaway 2 in this list, if I can even type. So both of these methods will work exactly the same way. It just goes to prove there's a lot of different ways to skin a proverbial cat. Anyway, enough tangents there. We've done our trigger. The trigger will actually fire now. We only want the one chap in there. We were just messing around on a slight tangent there. But that's done now, so all we need to do is, as we've been doing every single time, throw down our create task, throw down our set task state, set the task as succeeded, synchronize that up, give the task a title, Set the owner to all playable units. Task type will be exit. And module position will be fine as it is. So we must extract to that location. So when we reach, the task is completed. Very simple. As one final alternative method, what you could also do is, instead of using a anybody activation trigger, what you can do is you can synchronize the trigger so it has a owner. And that will then tie the trigger to a specific object, which then, as the name implies, when the owner is present, we need to change this condition back to this, so it uses the activation types. Then, as implied, the trigger will fire. Nothing too complex there, but this can apply to things such as stealing a vehicle. So for instance, you might have a fuel truck that the players need to steal, and what you might do is you might synchronize that truck as the owner, so the truck has to go into this trigger area in order to complete the objective. Though that does raise the question as what happens if this truck gets destroyed, which we will answer in the following tutorials.